From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for November 3rd, 2017. Today we're going to be taking a look at two different currency pairs, the EURUSD, the euro versus the dollar, and the USDJPY, the dollar versus the Japanese yen. It's important to note that we do have significant news out of the U.S. as we look at these two currency pairs, non-farm payrolls today, unemployment rate, earnings, all that coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. Could change everything we're talking about here in this analysis, but I think overall, the expectation is for a decent number on all of that data, and we look for a boost for the U.S. dollar. Of course, that's not saying that will happen, but that's what we're expecting. We'll start here on the euro dollar. I actually want to go over to a different chart. Something we've been studying in the live trade room for the past several days and weeks, actually, is the head and shoulders pattern along the top of the gold trend line. We went up, then we started moving down along the black trend line, blue line being the shoulder level, green line being the head, and the red line being the neck level. Happens to be the 236 of the previous long-term uptrend. Also 100 period moving average sitting there just right around the 1.1700 level, just underneath that is the 236 fib and the neck level of the head and shoulders pattern. As you can see, the past several days, and I've zoomed out so you can get a picture of the pattern and not really the candlesticks, but you can see the market has been underneath that red line moving average for the past several days, looking for the return of the downside. And of course, a good positive number for the US dollar would send this lower in accordance with the head and shoulders pattern. Let's move on over to our other chart, look at some historical support resistance, zooming in a little bit here, and we can start to get a picture of where our resistance has been. We've been talking about two different really areas for the euro dollar. First has been the yellow zone. Look at how it has been struggling around this yellow shaded area all week long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now underneath the 1.1655 level, the top of the yellow shaded area here. We've also been talking about, of course, where the 100 period moving average lives up here at the blue shaded area, but definitely underneath that. Yesterday we saw a pretty close touch of that moving average and a fall back here. So for the day today, what we're looking for, positive data for the US sends this back underneath 116.25, resuming the downtrend with the head and shoulders pattern, targeting, of course, first off the orange shaded area, which is into the mid 115s. Further down would be down here into the pink shaded area, the mid 114s, and then of course even further down we'd reach those further targets for the head and shoulders pattern. So as long as it's within and under the yellow zone, that's what we've been studying. Of course, if it breaks that yellow zone, of course we would look for it to go higher. If it's a negative move for the US dollar, if the sentiment is bearish for the US dollar, we would look for this currency pair to go up, challenge the blue zone. Maybe even if it breaks the blue zone, that would begin to invalidate the head and shoulders pattern. We'd probably look for this to go back up a little bit. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see, it's just been toying around with us. It's sat on top of it a little bit yesterday here on the 4-hour time frame, but now coming right back into it. So it's been toying around with us a little bit over the past 24 hours. I think the overall picture is what we want to continue to focus our energies on. Again, a little bit of a short trend line right here. If you put it just of the past few days, we can see it's just been kind of rallying and rising into that yellow zone. A breakdown of this yellow zone, a breakdown of the blue trend line, 16.25. Positive news for the U.S. and sentiment. Let's look for the return of the downtrend for the euro dollar. The other side of that is the USDJPY. It has been an uptrend. The overall pattern here we've been discussing is the blue box for the 2017. We're in the uptrend part of that pattern, the blue trend line. Let's zoom it in a couple of times and look at the blue box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days now. We've been bouncing around inside this blue box. Orange zone. At the bottom of the blue box towards the blue trend line is 113.35.15, yellow zone 113.90.70, green zone 114.25.50. The green zone will be very important for us today. Zoom out one time and you can see, look back to the left, the circle, the green and the blue circle, resistance highs there. If we are able to break through the green zone at the top, 14.25.50, with positive sentiment for the US dollar, breaking through those last resistance highs, I think we're looking for a pretty decent surge towards 115 or maybe even 116 for the US yen. So a very interesting area that we're at historically as resistance and reversal. A break of that changes the sentiment for the US yen. We're looking for it to go higher in the direction of our current trend, by the way, for the US yen. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. It's just been toying around with us. Yesterday we saw a big bearish move and then came right back up into the yellow shade area. We spoke about potential for looking for it to stay above the yellow zone in the live trade room yesterday, and it did. Only if it breaks underneath it do we look for it to go lower. And of course we know the green zone, 25.50, 14.25, 14.50. That's the breaking point. If it gets above there, which it hasn't done for quite a long time, if it finally gets above there and doesn't find resistance as it has been, I think we're looking forward to go much higher, 115, maybe even 116 or 17 for the US yen over the next several days.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.